already know it's the boy D&D, man. Shout out to Hood Life Leader, man. You already know how he carried it from the bottom to the tip. Oh, yeah.
I've been home. Everything you know about me probably been in the last 9 years. Everything you know about me starts 9 years ago probably.
Back so, and that's why I want to get at for real, because it's like, I know some guys, they like, Philly, like, Philly, the city where it's like somewhat everybody know everybody once you get to a certain. But I know guys, they're like, no, like from back in the day, he always been ripping and running. Y'all just know him because of the internet and what's going on now. For real, from y'all don't really know like the history.
Yeah, my friends in the streets be mad at me because of the relationships and the shit that goes on the internet because they know me for something else. And it's like I be trying to explain to them that, hey, I've been besieged by media since I was a kid, you know what I mean? HBO did a documentary, they spoke on me, never got the authorization from my parents, called me a crack baby. They end up had to pay about that. It wasn't a crack baby, but they end up having to pay about that, a lawsuit settlement. I was in that award, Emmy winning documentary, you know what I mean? Called I'm a Promise, The Children of M. Stanton. And my mom was the only mom that sued for them people coming into that school and just recording us like that and treating us like we was little monkeys and shit. Right. You feel me?
Producers of I Am a Promise.
Then we ran across the street when I went to get Blake. To walk me home, we ran across the street and came and hit me in my face.
No, when I was in the schoolyard, then you said, why you hit me with that rubber? And I said, sorry, but you didn't. You said, well, I'm gonna get you. And when you went in the classroom, you start going like this. And
I didn't hear you say sorry.
Hit me with that ruler, but I didn't hit you first. You hit
treating us like we was little monkeys and shit. Right. You feel me? So my mom sued, one. That was the first thing I'm supposed to stand up for my brain. You feel me? The first understanding, my mom took HBO to court right down City Hall and won. You feel me? She was standing right down there in City Hall. She sued them people. You know what I mean? And won. Then, what you say, the media, right? When I started with the media, what you say?
Yeah, because it's like, I say like people first started really getting familiar with you as far as like the situation with like you and Ed was cool and then all that.
Oh, I say the media covered me my whole life. So that one, and then I was riding off that, and then you come and I Chris and them, they spoke about me on their project. Got figured I got down there $400,000 or $500,000 marketing budget. Mm-hmm. They speaking about, even if they talk about me only one song, out of that album, if it's 20 songs, then you divide 500,000 by 20 songs, that song's still getting relatively about $25,000 worth of marketing. So, you feel what I'm saying?
What was it like for you, like being like young and then going through all that shit?
That shit was crazy, bro. That shit, man, I was only 16 years old, bro. Listen, I'm only 16 years old, Scrap. I'm dealing with my brother dying. I'm dealing with not really having my mom and my father in my life in the capacity that I would need them because they was dealing with their own things. You feel what I'm saying? I'm displaced because I'm just coming home from jail. So I really had to be a grown-ass man at 16 years old. I had to figure that shit out. And what that shit turned into, it turned into a lot of tears, it turned into a lot of anger, it turned into a lot of aggression, it turned into cases, it turned into shootings, it turned into a lot of different things.
Because it's like, I don't know as far as, but it's like, it's kind of hard to really be heard when you like the small guy in a situation, and then it's like a mayor, you feel me? So people automatically gonna kind of go with like the popular side for real.
I'm always up against the machine. That's the point I was trying to make before I digress. I'm up against HBO. I'm much against Young Guns, Rockefeller, telling people I'm crazy, and then everybody thinking I'm crazy. I'm up against, at the time, OBH. You feel me? Right now, I'm up against, you feel me? I'm always up against a bigger machine, somebody that's more popular. It's just because I don't stand for them maybe doing something to me that somebody else would. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't even got to be necessarily wrong. I might not like it happen to me. Like a person might want to shake my hand. I might tell him, no, I don't want you to shake my hand. It's not wrong that he want to shake my hand, but it's wrong that you're trying to force me to shake my hand after I express to you clearly I don't want that to happen.
I can respect that.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what happened with me and the big guys. What happens is something happens and I be like, nah. And then they be like, nah. And I be like, all right, cool. And then they might push and then I'll push back. That's it. And people only remember me because they like, this nigga voice high pitch, he funny as shit, he talking this shit, he going live all day. They really think I was up for 3 weeks straight. No, I was living in a different time zone. Even when I explained the mathematics to them, they didn't understand. I'm 3 hours behind y'all. So if I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's your 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go from 4 o'clock to my 7 o'clock. You're gonna go from your 7 o'clock to your 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go to sleep. And I'm gonna go from my 7 o'clock to my 10 o'clock, and I'm gonna get back up at your motherfucking 2 o'clock, and I'm gonna go again. And that's what you think is going on. But what's really going on is I got enough money to be able to be on the phone. What's really going on is I had enough phones to be on the phone. I had enough Wi-Fi. It's my mother.
Let's talk about trendsetters in the music and shit like that. Like one of my favorite records from you is definitely like Running, bro. It's like bar for bar, the way you put it together for real is like a real visual like story and shit like that. So just talk about putting it together and then what that song means to you.
First they took my nigga Neil, then they took my brother from me, then they took my nigga Jigga. I feel like I'm running from it. Fell in love with cardio. I think I'm a running summer. You know what I mean? They deserve to hear it. I think that they want it from us. First they took my nigga Neil. Neil just died. He got killed on Cumberland Street. That's my rap partner, P. Dot. If it was anybody that I really like looked up to, like outside of my brother, as another like brother, and like really looked at him as like, you know, this nigga like a superhero, was Nilius. You feel what I'm saying? The nigga was cool as shit to who he was cool as shit to, but he was a terror to whoever he wasn't. You feel me? But like if you was his folks, you was his folks. Not just that. You know what I mean? Nigga hit like a brick. I ain't gonna. God damn it. The only one that could give me some wreck was Leak Moss and them other brother PR, cause he could fight too, and he got flat hands, so like a wall. Nigga throwing that shit. Click. But
you do push-ups on the knuckles type of shit.
yeah, Nilius. Nilius died first, and that fucked me up. I was on the juvie block, and it was raining, and I called home, and Snow was like, Nilius got killed. Fucked me up.
What was just going through your mind like when you first heard those words?
I ain't understand. That ain't never happened to me before. And then 10 months later, my brother got killed. You feel me? So it was like, or 8 months later, I think Nilius died in like October or some shit. And then my brother died in June the next year. You feel me? In between that, my cousin Dion died. This my Aunt Peach's daughter. She got hit by a car on Broad in York. Died from the complications from the car, the hit and run. So I'm in the juvie block. Nilius died, and I ain't never experienced that before. And then in between my brother dying, which was 8 months later, my cousin died in between that shit. You feel me? So Nilius gone, Dion gone, and now Larry gone. And I'm sitting in jail.
And I feel like
And all this was going on as I was transitioning, getting decertified, fighting for my life. I had 21 robberies at the time. And I was facing 100 or something years, 100 to 200 something years. And as I was going through the decertification process back and forth to court, I was losing family members and friends. And I remember I lost Nilius. I was at the juvie block when I got decertified. I was at the Youth Study Center waiting to get placed. And they told me Dion passed. And then when I was at my second placement, because I got FTA'd out of Newcastle, when I got FTA'd out of Newcastle, I got sent down. And at Glen Mills, that's when I got notified that my brother died and shit. Feel me? And then like after my brother died, I forgot. Like I don't really know shit for like you had to really be somebody for like the next 3 years. I don't know shit. I don't really know shit. People be walking up to me and shit. They be talking about. I don't be knowing what the fuck they talking about. I blanked out for like 3 years.
So I want to talk about that because I know that's something that's going on all across, not even just Philly, but America, as far as just like dealing with death so early. You feel me? Our culture really one of the only ones that go through that, and then different situations. So just talk about as far as like just dealing with that, and what's some of the things that kind of helps you be able to get through it, and some advice that you can give to someone else that's going through it.
I mean, me dealing with what I was dealing with. I mean, you know, my brother was the first person that probably died due to rat violence in the city. So like I got a different relationship with rap. People, I be saying that to people would be going
I
on.
didn't even think about that, bro.
Yeah, it be going over people's head and shit. Like when niggas be playing with me on the internet and shit, acting like I don't want no beef, bro. I'm cool with everybody. You feel me? I don't want no beef, cause like you talking some other shit to me. I don't really understand.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And
So how was that? Is it like a love-hate thing with rap?
no, I love rap. I just hate bitch ass niggas. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you how the music thing, like with me, like the music thing for me, I look at this shit like how we can curb dealing with, you know, the death in it and losing people. Like I think if people stop summoning dead spirits and stop playing with the dead and people respect people, give people grieving like space to grieve, because when you disrespecting the dead and you disrespecting somebody's family, it's a thing called prayer. You know what I mean? And in whatever form these people praying in, you know, if they praying and they using they weapon, you feel what I'm saying? They spiritual weapons, and you not prayed up yourself, you feel me? Gonna hit you, you know what I mean? It's just like if somebody strap up and come get you, and you ain't strapped up, you know, you ain't even really got a chance for real. It's just all about if they miss or not, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a prayer, it's a spiritual warfare going on out here. Like spirituality not really taught in the household in the sense of God being the reason why we do any and everything, even while we do wrong to the least. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It'd be a thing where you stop because you got a conscience of God. You got a conscience of a higher power. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, every little split second before like whatever it is, it's a real split second where you and you decide.
yeah, you know what I mean? When I grew up, you know what I mean? I'm Muslim, but when I grew up, you know, the understanding in this country was one nation under God. Now, you don't really hear that no more. And they're not talking about one nation under God. They talking about LGBTQP or T. However you do that, no disrespect. They talking about finance. They talking about China. They talking about all these different things that's really, really, really matters of the state or personal affairs. Gender, sexuality is personal affairs. You put the law in effect, and then you lock their ass up if they break the law. You feel what I'm saying? Just that. Ain't nobody running around with a heterosexual gender talking about you gotta respect heterosexual people this way and this way and this way and this way. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a bunch of things, not saying that those people in those communities don't deserve the respect and the room that they need to go ahead and live life in this country, you feel me, and abroad. But what I'm saying is it's just a bunch of agendas that's being pushed in front of us to argue about when there's other things more important for us to discuss on a public in a statewide, countrywide, you know, way, in a nationwide way.
No, it's a fact.
You know what I mean? We got other things we need to be talking about, like lack of fundamental education for minorities, like not just black, but minorities abroad, across the board. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you look at it, it's not really it's not really a racial thing. If money could determine whether or not a white child get a better education than a black child, because a poor white child gonna get the same education probably that a poor black child is gonna get if they live in the same neighborhood. But the thing is that when that poor white child grow up, then his skin color is gonna allow him to have a complexion for the connection. You feel what I'm saying?
No facts. And it's a lot of like gentrification that's going on now and shit like that in the city.
Yeah, hold on for 1 second. Hey, freak, you good? Hey, let it roll. Hey, make sure y'all know this freak right here, 15th in York, free freaky, fighting for his life. Make sure y'all put y'all prayers in for him always. Know what I mean? BR, some of y'all know him Machine, but this my cuz right here. Cuz, what's up, man? Alaikum salam, doing a little interview, you hear me?
So how you feel about the drug culture that's going on in the city, and not even just in the Philly, but as far as like the culture period?
It's a Russian roulette situation. Like, you know, if you enter that field and you know for sure if you do it at that level and you get to a point where as though you disrespecting somebody in order for you to get ahead, then the response will warrant them to do the most disrespectful thing to you for they can get ahead also. So it's a Russian roulette situation, and if a child want to sign up for that, a man want to sign up for that, I would have to really question his mindset. Like I would have to question whether or not his sanity actually. You know what I mean? If you want to sign up for death and destruction, you know. So how I feel about the culture of drill rap in itself, I don't like it. I understand it perfectly. I don't like it. And as far as how I feel about the drill rappers, they might not know. They might not know necessarily. They might not necessarily know how detrimental the shit he rapping about and doing behind it and before it and after it and during it. They might not understand how detrimental that shit is to the fabric of society. But I don't know. I just hope they wake up and it don't be no situation where
effects on it and shit, trickle effect and
I'm not trying to like condemn them, like, you know what I mean? I condemn the people that's backing them. I condemn that shit gotta come from the root. Like they the fruits of the situation. You know what I mean? They the fruits and or they may be the branches, but they not the root of the situation. The root of the situation is corporate greed and I wanna say exploitation of the impoverished communities that's most affected by these motherfuckers drill raps and this drill culture, you know what I mean? In order for you to be ultra successful, have scat packs and bust down paddocks and things like that, you know, you would be willing to diss the dead. You got rappers that's not even into that. Like you catch them in real life and they'll be like, bro, I'm not into that. And they willing to do it because they willing to hope that they get the money and then the money secure them before they can get attacked. You understand what I'm saying? But think about how many people died and fell before they got to that. So it's like I said, it's a it's a Russian roulette situation. Yeah, so I just want the young boys to like for anything. Let me say this. If you could take anything from what I'm saying about my disdain for the drill culture, just understand this. I have no hate towards nobody's success. I'm just concerned for you if your success is at the expense of your life. You know what I mean? Just really want y'all to know that it's a way to cycle out of that shit. It's a way to make music with the same cadences and the same sounds and the same feelings and the same emotions and still not, you know, speak on the dead or, you know, threaten the lives of others, this, that, and the third. It's a way to get your emotions out. You just got to find a different way to communicate. Just, you know, sometimes the way somebody taught you how to talk, it's not the way that you should always talk, because I was taught to holler, hoop, scream, because I was hollered and screamed at and things like that. So when things didn't go my way, I would holler, and I still would do that, but now I identified as being toxic. So when you listen to these young rappers, you know, you gotta understand that you have to talk to them and let them know that somebody, if this is how your family raised you, then you're wrong. They're wrong. And you had to come off that. And if this is how your family didn't raise you, then you're wrong. You know what I mean? Because you're going against your family. You know what I mean? You know, in a sense. And if you carrying it on, then you're still wrong because you stopping the progress of your family. Because this is what you're gonna teach your kids. They say, the dead. What about grandmoms that don't got nothing to do with it? The great grandma.
like son, I remember even coming up. That was an instant rumble. Yeah, any dead fools, any of your dead, that was an instant rumble.
Yeah, so now it's an instant death almost, you know. So it's just at the point, like I said, I just wish them well. I just wish them all well, and I just wish that they use their ability to create music and create vibes. I wish they used that shit to get to a different point. At doing something creative and doing something positive, for real, for real. If you put 10 years and, you know what I mean, doing something good, you know what I mean, what's more than likely gonna come out of it is something great, something dynamic. If you put 10 years in and doing something crazy, then what's gonna come out of it is something crazier, you know what I mean? You could live your life as a driller or you could live your life as a man, you know what I mean? You know, I never seen a killer walk up in a room and you know, tell a room, hey, I'm a killer. Like, I'm a killer and it's nice to meet you. You know, so all these things where you got to keep in the dark and you got to deal with life as a demon and things like that, I would just encourage the youth just to really, really, really get close to their elders, for real, for real. You know what I mean? Get close to your elders. Your elders gonna take y'all closer to God.
No, it's definitely a heavy statement. That's a heavy, heavy statement.
Yeah. But other than that, man, make sure y'all check for my new project, man.
Shady, man. We gonna get out here with that. I need to know what's next. Like I said, you definitely like always consistent. you'll go away, you'll pop out with some music, and talk to some shit, go
Yeah,
on
yeah.
live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I just dropped 8 videos, well 9 videos plus a visualizer. So like 10 visuals from a project that I just dropped called Fuck All Y'all 2 that's streaming everywhere. I just dropped 2 singles, one called Trust Nobody from this new project called Fuck All Y'all 2 Part 2. I Trust Nobody and I dropped Bad Day collectively they had like 45,000 streams. You feel what I'm saying? I'll check right now, hold on.
Numbers, man, numbers.
I check right now.
I said you definitely like well known in the city and throughout the city and shit like that for real, for real. I say definitely when it comes to making songs, you feel me? You can't deny like you make good records.
See? You get a good picture of that?
That's all. It's a good job.
Yeah. So this year I'm dropping 52 songs, bro. I dropped 20 already. I dropped 20 and I'm gonna drop another 20 in a couple days. I'll give it to you. I'll give you the project and shit, let you do a review of it. You can smoke, let you review it, you know what I mean? You can really give your review. I would love for you to do that. But
that stamp on it, man.
yeah, I'll give you the project before you leave and shit. I got it right here. Me and Dunny. Shout out to Dunny, man. Heavy Music. Shout out to all the producers that I use y'all beats, man. There's too many of y'all to name this time. I kind of mixed it up. But I created a dope vibe for real, for real. And I got you. It's called Fuck All Y'all 2 Part 2. This whole year is a time capsule of music for me. I'm trying to drop 52 pieces, one representing each week. So it's like I kind of gave you my life in real time. You know what I mean? Because all my other projects gave you all my other life.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? It gave you all that. I guess the 6 projects where I done Heart of a Lion, Soul of a Legend, Heart of a Lion 2, Soul of a Legend 2, Fuck All Y'all, and Fuck All Y'all 2. I already gave y'all, and then a slew of freestyles, official freestyles that's dropped on and released on all DSPs and things like that. I gave them crazy shit, you know what I mean? I gave him crazy visuals. I gave him running. I gave him lead of the division. I gave him rainy day. I gave him Gladys. You feel what I'm saying? I gave him Marlo. You know, I gave him some joints, bro. I gave him some joints. I gave him crazy. I just gave him 8 joints. Brothers from another fucking friends when I was in the jail joint. Brothers from another. We was down Chinatown. You know what I mean? I just gave him some crazy visuals, bro. So.
It's always like got your name in a negative light.
I mean, those people is like giving me better cot. For real, they giving me blessing. I don't really had, like, my ego got crushed when the people that I thought would love me forever didn't love me forever. You feel me? So people that I never know, never got no attachment to me and shit, they can't hurt me with what they say, because one day I went through something I never thought I would ever go through in my life and shit. I never thought I'd go through nobody ever calling me no rat. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, nigga, I could wake up tomorrow and nigga be calling me a faggot. I could wake up the next day and I had to really set my mind up for, like, no, this shit go south. It's the internet. You feel what I'm saying? It go south. I just make sure I stay straight. You know what I mean? Keep going up.
So one of the last questions, what's some advice you can give to like the youth?
Stay consistent at what you do. That's good, no matter if your friends or your family recognize you for that or not. Because at the end of the day, when all else fails, just make sure that you understanding that you got yourself. And it's a clock on all this shit out here, man. The life got a clock. We could die any day, any second, anywhere, doing good or bad. You feel me?